What else can I show? What's my Hyperion? Oh yeah, Hyperion's currently protecting, that you saw in action the other side, he's currently protecting my construction ships in this asteroid belt, because the enemy just keeps coming from all directions, so he's been blasting away. He's had lots of upgrades because he's had lots of battles. He's 21 and got lots of extra skill things. That's what's really cool. The Civ 4 has that whole upgrade system for all its units, and that's been brought across to Final Frontier and then brought across into the Babylon 5 mod. So your ships have so many upgrades, and some of them are unique to Babylon 5, which is cool. A little bit of pirate activity going on there, I think. And I've been very busy exploring the galaxy. The Centauri, I've got some colonies here. They might have some more in that blackness, I don't know yet. I've got those Oracle ships you saw earlier, they're out there exploring, and I've got another one up here somewhere as well, right around the top, what I think is the top of the galaxy. Anyway, it's freaking massive, this map. Like, hang on, that's as far out as I can zoom, and I've got this whole area here. Now, I've done a spiral galaxy, and it looks like they set that up by putting you can't pass this nebula stuff in the Final Frontier, so it looks like the mod makers have used that to create the wall of dead space, I suppose, and you can't get through there, but to get to the stuff here. But then I found this one little passageway, so I reckon I'm going to put a star base like right here, and some big ships, and then just make sure, because I reckon the Minbari and everyone else is on the other side of this. I've only found the Centauri in my part of the galaxy, so yeah, everyone else is presumably in here, and currently, because I couldn't seem to get anyone through the passageway without getting attacked by pirates, my recon vessels kept dying, so I had to send a powerful ship, which is annoying because the powerful ship is really slow to move, but I've been slowly making my way through and pulverizing anything that comes near me with the Sagittarius here. Yeah. Not a bad ship, but it's bloody slow. So I'm looking forward to, because later on with the Hyperions and the Novas and the Omegas, they're much faster, so they can move more than one square per turn, so they're as fast as the recon ships, and I can start sending them out around the galaxy and showing my presence, much as Sheridan did on the Agamemnon, solving disputes and making sure no one forgets about the Earth Alliance. The Hermes ship you saw earlier, I kind of got that heading towards some space debris. You find this everywhere, and you get some nice bonus. They'll give you resources, give you terrain, give you ship upgrades, and also visiting solar systems. If you visit unoccupied solar systems before anyone else, there'll often be an alien race that, while you can't conquer them, and they're just they're not visible, it'll just say that you found some aliens and they gave you blah blah blah, and that blah 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 will either be resources, map, or they'll join you, and you just inherit a free solar system, which is very awesome. In fact, I think a few of mine from here were captured that way. So yeah, so that's my game. I'll show you. Let me see. So I've only met the Centauri. There's Londo. He likes me. We're being nice. I think you have to research various options to allow for more diplomatic activities, because right now all I can do is say hello and either be at war or be at sort of like contact. Like, I can't seem to establish alliances or trade resources or anything, but I'm guessing that might come with various diplomacy technologies. Research is progressing along nicely. It's beautiful. Like, I think the main actual techs are just Final Frontier ones, but they've been organized into Babylon 5 universe functionality. So of course you've got all these lovely Earth ships appearing, and mining facilities and stuff, and oh god, there's so much stuff here. There's let me see, ship construction. This is when I got my early Hyperion, and let me see, I'm approaching where was that one where, yeah, I've got early towards Omega technology. So like if I go here, here we go, look at this, this is an Omega. Look at that. Can't wait to rock that thing around the galaxy, kicking ass. It's going to look great when its weapons fire as well. Be interesting to see if it has the beams or whether it just fires the pulses out of the side guns. But beautiful shit, especially as it has the rotating section, so I'm assuming that's going to rotate when I'm on the map too, so that's going to look really cool, having all these rotating ships flying around. But I should show you guys some of the units. I've made a list actually, because there's just so many, it's insane. So what have we got here? The first one I wanted to show was Aurora Star Fury. Here we go. So yeah, I haven't got these babies yet, but I'm approaching the tech though. I've already got one of the techs I need for it. I think I need a couple more, but yeah, they're pretty cool. Swing around there. And of course it upgrades to the Thunderbolt, which I'll get to later, but let me see, what else is there that's really cool? What's this one? Oh yes, was it Brakiri, I think, their ship? You remember these from all the big Alliance battles, you would have seen these. Generally getting carved up by the shadows. And what else is cool here? Oh, the truck, yes, look at this. Truck cruisers and their destroyer. You remember these from Crusade? They were quite deadly. So the Drak are in the game. And what else we got here? Oh, there's all these weird early versions of all the ships, but that, I guess that's for balancing. You get an early version, then you get a later version. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. The Jakar and Jakarith. I remember this one from the earlier seasons, and the Jaquan, of course. That'd be the more famously seen ones. Nice ship, very powerful. 31, in fact, that's way more powerful than anything I'm rocking than the Hyperions and stuff. But an upgraded Hyperion might stand up a little better, but probably need an Omega, upgraded Omega. But yeah, what else? Oh yeah, well, you've already seen the Hyperion. I've already been rocking that and shooting stuff with it, but that's an awesome ship. Oh yeah, look at this. They've got the ISA Victory in here from Crusade. Probably has a lot more detailing on it, which I can't quite get close enough to show you, but look at that, 54. Good God, that's like a Borg ship in the Star Trek mod. It's so overpowered. I wonder who gets access to that. Whether the Minbari and EA can get access or what. It'll be interesting to see later on in the game who gets that. But what else have we got here? Oh yeah, the good old Nile fighter. Of course, we saw plenty of these, raining death and destruction on their enemies. Considered to be the greatest fighter in the Babylon 5 universe. Certainly for speed and weaponry. I think the humans had the better maneuverability, at least from what I've seen in the tech sites and all that stuff. Oh, I love this ship, the Nova. I mean, it may have appeared utterly useless in the Earth Minbari War, but it's just scary looking. I mean, it's covered in ginormous guns. And it's very strong as well, so that would be quite useful. Hopefully I'll get them soon in my current game, because I can't wait to rock a few of these around the galaxy as well. Oh, and I also want to see it fire. Like, what does it look like when it opens fire? Ooh. And what else have we got here? Oh yeah, that looks like a version of the Centauri capital ship there. Remember this thing opening fire on Babylon 5 at the end of Season 2, I think. Oh yeah, there's this thing. It's sad at this distance you can't make out quite the detailing. It probably looks way better when you zoom up closer in the game. But I can't remember was the Olympus? That was in the. I remember the Olympus in the show charging in the prequel film, charging towards some Minbari ships and getting blown to bits. Of course, we've seen the Omega. That's like a scaled down version. I'm assuming there's an upgraded one, because look at it, it's only 19. That's not going to stand up to anything. In fact, I think my current Hyperion is stronger than that, so it's a bit strange. Maybe there's it's either a bug or there's some big upgrades coming to this thing, but either way, it looks awesome. What else we got here? Shadows. Now this seems to be, I mean, we only saw this ship, what was it? I think this might be the shadow ship that destroyed, what's his name, from the captain on Crusade when he was just an officer on that other Earth Force destroyer that got blown to bits by the shadows. I think this was the ship that destroyed it, I think. So I haven't seen the crab ships, like, you know, the giant shadow heavy ships yet, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe they haven't been implemented yet. I'm pretty sure I've seen screenshots of them, so they must be in the game somewhere, but I'll have to ask the designer about that. But either way, this is the shadow ship I can easily find in the Civilopedia at the moment, and bloody power, look at that, 60. That can destroy the ISA Victory. Ooh. That's interesting, because this was only a small ship. Surely it should be these statistics for a shadow cap ship, but anyway. Oh, the Sharlin. This will blast pretty much anything in the Earth Alliance, as we know. The mighty capital ship of the modern, well, in the Babylon 5 timeline, the modern Minbari fleet. Very nice. Scary in the darkness there. You don't want these coming towards you. What else? Anything else familiar here? The Sunhawk, yep, that was another one of the non-aligned races. We saw this ship quite a bit in the various big battles. Technomage, even the Technomage ships in here, those little triangle stealth ship things they have. What else? Oh, there's the Thunderbolt Star Fury, the upgraded. Presume you get these towards the end of the game. 12 strength, so that can actually unleash quite a bit of damage, considering they're primarily used for hit and run and bombing and things. So that's pretty cool. It's like a bomber. There's a fighter and a bomber version. It's one of the early Minbari ships. The Vorcha. We all know the Vorchas. Generally, when the Centauri were dealing death and destruction, hit and run attacks, this was their ship of choice, the Vorcha. Fast and pretty strong, but obviously better when it comes at swarming their enemies. Anything else? We're at the end. There's a Vree. What was the familiar Vree? Oh yeah, remember this one? The flying saucer in the big battles. That looks pretty cool. And whoops, I missed it. The Warlock, the strongest ship in the Earth fleet, and the same strength as the Sharlin, which was interesting. That was 29 as well. So, because I mean that's always been the fan discussions. How strong was a Warlock? Because we hardly ever saw one in battle, and the idea was, at least you see in a lot of descriptions, that this ship was the one that was built to have a one-on-one battle against a Sharlin and potentially survive. Whereas the Omegas could finally take the battle to a Sharlin, but odds are the Sharlin would still blast it unless they had superior numbers. But the Warlock, yeah, I mean, the various sites have different. I've seen epic arguments between Babylon 5 fans on the characteristics of it, but there's been some novels and things that said that there's like part shadow technology in there and things, so hence the lack of spinning sections and stuff. It's a beautiful ship. I wish we got to see more of it. We probably would have had Crusade not have been cancelled, but yeah. And last of all, gotta have to show the Whitestar, don't we? Good old Whitestar. Once again, it'll be interesting to see who gets this. Does the Minbari get this only, or can EA, you know, if you're sort of playing as Sheridan, can you get access to this kind of stuff? It'll be interesting. These are sort of, I suppose, end game kind of techs. But yeah, and very fast too, 4 movement. So yeah, I mean that's sort of the technologies. I mean I've shown you the religions and there is one more thing actually. Great wonders. There's some good stuff here. Look at this. So because you might notice I haven't shown you Babylon 5. Like I haven't been able to find it in the unit list. I've seen Babylon 5 in screenshots. So maybe it's when you build this wonder. When you build this, because I've noticed how I showed you before how some of those other buildings appear on floating in the solar system. So possibly the solar system that builds this Babylon Station Wonder has the big station. Sadly, it doesn't appear here. At least I can't see it anyway. But we got first ones. That's what I've been building. ISA headquarters, Ranger headquarters, Shadow Base, the Hand headquarters. Is that a handbag with a cat in it? I guess they haven't quite found a picture for that yet, but anyway. a bag with a cat in it. Oh. Was that a dog? No, that's a bag dog, one of those silly little bag dogs, yes. And Vorlon base. So yeah, it hasn't quite a proper picture for that yet either, but yeah. Oh, good stuff. So there's lots to discover, lots to do, and it's going to take a while to do it. Like I said, I've been going out for a few days, and I've only just got to, sort of to Hyperion tech and conquered a sort of a corner of the galaxy. And I've been fighting off lots of pirates, but obviously, there's Yeah, plenty more to do, but really the biggest thing I think is missing is just scenarios. I really wish someone would make some dedicated scenarios. That way, because I think some people might be turned off when they realise that the only thing they can do when they install this mod is just have this one little star system with a couple of crappy ships, and they can't get their hands on all the good stuff. Whereas with the Star Trek mod, you can get to all the good stuff, like no problems. It's all there. So because of those scenarios allowing you to fight DS9 fleet battles, and so you've got all the Galaxy class ships and Sovereigns and things, and you can muck around with the best tech in the game straight away. So I think and Babylon 5 universe has so many epic moments that they can make scenarios out of. Like I thought of a couple from the show, and there's battles we haven't seen too, like the first Great Shadow War with the early Minbari and the Vorlons. I mean, a lot of that stuff is already in this game, so that would be awesome to see that war. The Earth Dilgard War, the Dilgard are in this game, so I mean, why not show some of that war when Earth was in its infancy, like at the stage I'm at now, rocking the Hyperions and the Novas and going and kicking some Dilgard ass and earning that arrogance that got them into trouble with the Minbari. And then of course that's the next thing, the Earth Minbari War. Imagine that, whole bunch of Earth system, whole bunch of Minbari systems. They're rocking the Sharlins, and you're trying to hold them off with Hyperions and Novas. And it'd be one hell of a scenario. And what could you do? Else could you do? The Narn Centauri War, that'd be a great one with some shadow interference. Of course, you got to have them involved. And and that's the other thing I forgot to say. I'm pretty sure I've seen the designer post that at some point he does plan to give access to the Vorlons and the Shadows as playable races, much like you can play as the Borg in the Star Trek mod. They'll obviously be horribly overpowered, but super expensive to try and balance it out. So the trick is to try and knock them out of action before they get too big. Otherwise, you'll be in real trouble. Of course, playing as them, it'll be really fun. But unfortunately, as you probably saw when I was showing you the races, you can't play as them yet. And I should have mentioned that back then and not at the end of the video. But anyway, what else could you do? The Second Great War, of course, against the Shadow and the Vorlons with their planet killers. And that's something I haven't really shown you actually. The techs in this game, like when you get towards the best techs, you've got that kind of stuff. Come here. You've got like planet killer tech and Beyond the Rim and doomsday weapons and living ships. It all gets into that kind of freaky stuff from Babylon 5. So it's pretty cool. But you could do the Earth Civil War. How good would that be? Basically, Sheridan's side and Clark's side, all control of all these different Earth systems. You have the other alien races nearby, and so they can influence the battle, and you just go at it with all these Omegas and maybe a few early Warlocks or something. Yeah, I mean, no, there probably weren't any at that time. In fact, I think Susan Ivanova got the first Warlock, and that was after the war. But nevertheless, put it in the tech list so you can still get to them and change the way the battle goes. But that'll be really fun. There was a big alien attack on Babylon 5, and I think I've seen some of their ships, like from Season 5, I think I've seen some of their ships in the game list as well, so that might be possible. There was, of course, the big Drak planet killer attack on Earth, where, I've just shown you, there's planet killers in this game. And then there was, from the Babylon 5 DVD from a few years ago, the Future War between the Centauri and Earth. That would be pretty cool, because you saw these like futuristic Vultures engaging heaps of futuristic Warlocks. So that would be another fun war that they could do. I mean, I think the Centauri are also rampaging around in Season 5. There's so many conflicts from the show, seen and unseen, that they could create scenarios out of for this. So I mean, it just needs some talented Civ 4 modder to, or the designer of this thing himself. Although I think it's only down to one guy now. I think it used to be a team, now it's just one guy working a bit in his spare time. So it's been slow going lately. But I'm hoping that perhaps this video might bring some more attention to his project and some more support. And best case scenario, maybe some more talent and some people who can go, oh hey, I'll make a cool scenario for your mod. And that's the kind of thing that I think would, not the right words, but sell the product. It'll get more interest out there. But anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and me waffling on there. It took me a while to build this game to give you something to show you. Otherwise, boy, would it have been a short and boring video if I didn't have all this to show you guys. But yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I've been completely addicted. I was only meant to have a quick game of this so I could set something up for the video for you guys and then move on to the other videos I've got to make. And I ended up just blowing like several days, just going next turn, next turn. I've had about 5 hours sleep because I was up all last night until like 4 or 5 a.m. I was like, next turn, next turn, next turn. I was freaking heck. It's so addictive. And you got the Babylon 5 music rocking away when you're blasting things with your Hyperion. It's just, oh, it's so much fun. So yeah, any Babylon 5 fans out there who want to play a big sandbox turn-based strategy game set in the Babylon 5 universe, this is your ticket. This is what you want. It is freaking awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to move on to do some other videos now. Farewell.